I think we have a genuine problem on our hands. So last week or 2 weeks ago, I was at the Alpha Convention doing recruiting for my firm. And one thing I genuinely think we have an issue with that I don't think a lot of people, or I've read a few articles on, is that we're not getting enough accounting students through colleges, through the program. And honestly, I'm beginning to get worried. It's just something that I've been thinking about recently. I remember I graduated from college in 2014, which is about, 8-9 years ago. And, I remember in order for me to talk to a firm to get in their audit department, because I was an accounting major, oh my gosh, I would have to wait literally like almost an hour or 30 minutes to be able to talk to a professional to understand and learn and see what the firm had to offer, see how many positions they had open or whatever. Just talk to someone in that space. And being at this recruiting event, I couldn't believe how little accounting students actually showed up. It was honestly dumbfounded. And I talked to a few of my friends that I have, in different firms, some of the big four. And honestly, it's pretty alarming how little accounting students there were at this event. And, I don't know. And then, I was reading an article recently where, a lot of people are just not enrolling into accounting programs. I think I heard a statistic somewhere where it was like enrollment for accounting programs is down like 30 or 40%. That is insane. That's crazy. And, I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, I'm in public accounting, and my whole business relies on, from my, my professional job perspective, relies on, having good young talent come through the ranks, through, the schools or what have you. And, it's actually this accounting topic. I've been thinking about it a lot recently. And, I think even with college now, this whole there's like a $10,000 or $20,000 student loan forgiveness program that's going to go through. I think college is really, the paradigm is really going to shift, and I again, maybe this is just wishful thinking, but I just think that the firms we're going to need to react and change the paradigm and the scope of how we recruit students. I mean, do we really need them to come from full 4-year educational universities, or I always said in a perfect world, we'd set up like a whole different training program where like I teach you how to audit for, a year or two, or I teach you accounting, debits and credits, financial accounting, intermediate accounting, all this good stuff for a year or two at like a trade school program. And then, you take a year for your CPA exam. So the program is maybe like a year and a half, 2 years tops. So now, you get someone that graduated at 16, 17, that's 17, and then now they're 18 or now they're 19 or 20, and now they're essentially ready to work. And then they kind of pay the firm back by maybe working for the firm for a year or two. And then we take a little bit of their paycheck or whatever. Obviously, I'm just thinking out loud here, but I really think we may have an issue with, people enrolling into accounting programs. And, I need all of you that are on this channel, that obviously this channel is solely focused on teaching accounting professionals audit and all this good stuff. But it's funny, I don't think many people have thought about this yet, because it's something that I've kind of been bringing up in my own social circles, with the fact that, are we going to have an issue in the years to come with not having enough talent to choose from and not having enough people to actually do the work? And how are firms going to respond to that? I honestly don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was really eye-opening to me to be at this huge networking event, and a lot of students asking for more consulting roles as opposed to accounting. Because again, when I'm telling you, 9 years ago, when I graduated college, I mean, you had to wait in lines to be able to talk to a professional at Deloitte, RSM, Grant Thornton, BDO, whatever, any firm, right? You name it. There was lines to talk to the accounting, to the audit people, which, a requirement is that you essentially have an accounting degree. That's what essentially you need to be able to sit for the CPA exams and fulfill certain requirements. So I don't know, maybe I'm making this podcast to kind of like just vent and express my feelings and my fear going forward of what's going to happen. But I do feel like there is going to be a shift in maybe the requirements that the firms are going to have to actually get into the firms. I mean, you're starting to see this with a lot of tech companies, that some tech companies aren't even requiring 4-year degrees anymore. They're requiring, some boot camp program for 6 or 8 months that you have some certification. Again, I'm not that well versed in that area, obviously, but, I'm a CPA by trade, but it's definitely an interesting topic that I think is going to need to be addressed in the coming years, because I think the internet changed the whole game, the whole paradigm of how we do education, how we learn, and how we fulfill certain requirements to be able to do a job. Because, in my opinion, even looking back at my own college career, my first 2-3 years of like general education, I'm not saying they were a complete and utter waste of time, but they kind of were, and other than like my accounting classes where I really listened, paid attention, and really try to, conceptually understand what they were teaching me. I mean, other than my core classes, like I don't really remember getting anything from it other than maybe a few where I learned some things that taught me a little bit more about life, I guess. But, overall, I don't really feel like the whole college 4 or 5 years was really worth my time. I really more so feel like the last maybe year and a half, 2 years, where I really dove into my core classes that essentially helped me be able to do my job as a first year associate at a big firm. And, I don't know. Again, maybe I'm just speaking out loud here, and I definitely would enjoy and love if you guys maybe comment below and let me know, what do you guys think is going to happen? Because, are you guys seeing this if you're in college? I'd love to know and have a discussion, and honestly, even maybe have some students on here or some working professionals that are going through the same issue that I'm kind of seeing, because honestly, it's becoming a little bit scary, the fact that, we're not having enough talent. And even at the professional level, we're always screaming and for good, solid talent to come through our doors. And, not that there's not good people anymore, there's just not enough of them for the amount of workload that we have with all the clients that I'm sure every big firm is going through. And even small firms, I'm sure that they can't keep up with the amount of people that we have, working professionals. We don't have enough of them to do the work. And I don't know, maybe it's a consequence of maybe, the economy from a professional perspective, honestly, a professional services perspective is doing really well. Because one thing I tend to see too in my career is that, usually if the economy is doing really well, consulting groups are doing really well. But if big companies are starting to maybe lose profits or not do that well, the first thing they start cutting is consulting services, because those are essentially kind of optional. They're not really required for you to be able to make a profit. They're really not, right? So it's a really interesting topic, and honestly, I think I'm not saying accounting is doomed. Obviously not. Knock on wood. It's what I do for a living. It's what I'm going to do for a living forever. But it's just something to think about, and something that has been crossing my mind ever since I went to this event. I couldn't believe at how little accounting students there were. And again, maybe I'm just, biased at this event, and maybe I'm, losing it. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys are seeing the same things either at school or at your own firms, lacking resources. And specifically, I say in accounting per se, because again, I've never had that little students. And even talking to other colleagues, even at every big firm you can think of, struggling to find, accounting students and good solid talent to choose from, because there's just not a lot. Before, again, we had lines and lines of people wanting to work at the firms, and now it's shifting, right? And I don't know if maybe accounting just isn't as appealing to young students, because I can tell you right now, any other profession, call it engineering, whatever, after 5-6 years, I can't think of another profession that pays as well as, getting into accounting does, other than, again, maybe engineering or those other, lawyer, doctor, whatever, right? But again, those take sometimes years and years of school. And with accounting, you pretty much get your 4-year degree, your CPA license, and you're doing pretty well for yourself. And especially once you're 5, 6, 7, 8 years into your career, you're doing really well for yourself. And, I hope through this channel and through this message and growing this community that I have here, I hope we're able to spread that good word, because, it's not like I'm scared of, you guys taking my place or anything. No, because in order for, and I say this all the time to young people, in order for you to continue to grow in your career, you need to bring people up under you for they can do the work and they can continue to grow themselves. And it's like a forever climbing ladder that you help other people below you and they help you get to the next stage. And, I'm really worried that, even me, that I think of myself myself already as a partner at the firm. Obviously I'm not there yet, hopefully soon, but I'm a senior manager, and thinking about it, I want good people to be able to develop, grow, and nurture themselves and build a life for themselves where I can help them, and also they can help me continue to grow my practice. And again, it's just something that I've been thinking about. And if you guys are seeing the same issues, whether even especially in colleges, I'd love to hear about how your bait-off side programs or your accounting societies are. And if you're a young professional or even someone at a big firm or at a local firm, how is the talent pool looking for you guys? Is it maybe a California thing? Is it a national thing? Is it just accounting in general? We're having a hard time attracting good young talent. I don't know. It's an interesting conversation to have, and I'd love to get you guys' perspective on it. So, all right, guys, it's gonna be it for the video today. If you found value in the video, please make sure to hit the like button below for the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, work hard, dress well, peace.